that's the only way to win. That's the only way to go. Gotta get it out the mud. Gotta get it out the flow. Cause that's the only way to go. Let's go.
Shooting. Lights out. What's going on, good people? How y'all doing today here on this Monday, March 10th, 2025? A lot of things going on here. Yes, you see me rocking the Rams. It was a big day for my Los Angeles Rams in football, but I'm not here to talk about football. I'm here to talk about basketball. Mainly college basketball today because, champ week is here. Going to recount the final days of the regular season for the men. We're going to recount what happened during championship week for the ladies and who punched their tickets to the NCAA tournament. This is going to be a great time. It's going to be a great show. Thank y'all for tuning in today. We are live on the Playmakers Blog YouTube channel. We are also live on the Playmakers Blog X account as well. And then those of you want to know if you want to catch the replay of this, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and whatever else you get your podcasts at. So thank you for tuning in on today. Feel free to comment. Feel free to share it out. Feel free to do all the things that you need to do to get the conversation going. And I'm not alone today. He's back again. The Morning Shift's Cole Johnson, the EP of all EPs. Cole Johnson.
They all been knocking it out you hoes. Let it cook. Jay trucking all you foes. Let it cook. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Wrong show. I am so very sorry. Hi, Playmaker. How are you doing?
And which I'll be doing that show later on. Good gracious. Leave it to Coach Johnson to be the one to, spoil the fun, That's what he likes to do. He likes to spoil the fun.
Spoil the fun? Wait a minute.
Spoil the fun, yeah.
I keep telling you, I don't want you to be the buttoned up tie and straight laced guy. I want you to be you.
When have I not been me?
That is why my presence is. That is why my on-air presence is in your life. I just want you to be more you, Playmaker. That's all.
I'm always me. Get that idea from.
I didn't say you're not you, period. I said I want you to be more you.
I don't know how I can be more me. I don't even know if that's even possible.
Oh man, I'm having fun, bro.
I pick my spots when I need to go off, and I pick my spots when okay.
Yeah.
Let's have a discussion.
Yeah, but thank you again for inviting me on the platform. Of course, I dig every platform you do. Of course, Shooting Lights Out has a special place in my heart, so I appreciate that and I appreciate the love, man.
Hey, what I do before we get to the college ranks, one Mr. Cole Johnson requested that he have his turn on a situation that took place just before the weekend got here.
Now you're talking about fun being spoiled.
Hey, you requested it. I provided the platform.
Thank you, sir.
So I'm going to sit back, and Mr. Cole Johnson is going to take it from here with this right here.
Okay. So as you all are well aware, last week you had LeBron James in a Lakers game in Crypto.com Arena confront one Mr. Stephen A. Smith of ESPN and First Take fame. Oh, congratulations to you, sir. You are now 5 years and $100 million richer. I salute you. And the quick conversation wasn't pleasant. It wasn't, hey, how you doing, man? It wasn't that type of stuff. No. LeBron felt the need to say something to the effect of, quote, keep my son's name out your mother mouth, close quote. And now, Friday, Stephen A. Smith, he responded. He said, I know this was not LeBron as the player coming to me. It was LeBron as the father. And yes, I agree, it was. But here's where I have the issue. You Generation Z, I mean, you Generation Z fools, and no, I'm not talking about Playmaker, but you dummies that just cape for LeBron. I mean, it's as if you were putting yellow and purple makeup on your faces, along with being Lakers jersey wearers and having purple capes on. I mean, you cape so hard for this guy, you would think that you try to be Superman, you fall off of roofs to the floor or the ground. Because, man, bruh, my man, you sound like a jilted hoe. All right. Oops. All right. Before I have my fun eviscerating you Gen Zers, I'm going to analyze this for you. Okay, so a few months back, LeBron pleaded to, Stephen A. Smith pleaded to LeBron on First Take saying that you shouldn't basically put your son in the spotlight that he's in. You know, that you should basically stop doing what he's doing because it's not conducive to the overall growth of one Bronny James or LeBron James Jr., technically. And that is what LeBron took umbrage about. But here's where I take umbrage. That conversation, Mr. James, should take place in private. It should not have taken place on the court. Just like your critique of, or I should say, to basically the warning of Stephen A. Smith's name, saying your son's name being kept out of his mouth, that also is unwarranted. Why is it? Well, I'll make it real simple. Is Bronny James in junior high school? No. Oh, so Bronny James must be in high school. No. No. Bronny James must be in college. No. Oh, Bronny James is a pro. Yeah, that's right. So we would think, being the most tenured player pro that you are on the court, Mr. James, you would be understanding of the fact that when you're a pro, all things are on the table, except if it's private. Like if Bronny's dating a white girl and someone goes off on him because, well, that must mean that he must not like chocolate, he must like vanilla. That's out of bounds because it's not talking about his play. It's not dealing with what he does as a profession. Somehow, the father brain should be turned off. In this case, the professional brain should be turned on because your son is a professional basketball player. And some clown, some Gen Z clown, had the nerve to put forth Stephen A's point per average in college, which was in in North Carolina's A&T, I think that's where he went for college, and it was 1.5 points per game. But the internet sleuths, they put forth Bronny's average for the NBA. It was 1.4 points per game. The thing is, the chap is an adult. He's getting paid. He's getting checks. Yes, I know we rarely see him, but he's getting broken off some cheddar. So if he's a man and he gets broken on cheddar, that means critique is in play. So we should not hear LeBron check Stephen A. Smith. No, he did not. LeBron is basically just like you Gen Z dummies, all in your doggone feelings. And when you're in your feelings, you do bull. When you're in your feelings, you do ridiculous mess like what your parents should tell you not to do in public. You know, the saying, if you have nothing nice to say, shut your mouth. No. LeBron had nothing nice to say. He was in his feelings, and he felt he needed to let his feelings show. So he stepped up to Stephen A. Smith and let his feelings show. All right, you dummies. Here's how it goes down. When you're a man or a woman, but in this case, this is all men that I have had to deal with. When you're a man and you're no longer, well, I take that back. Some of you probably are still in your mother's or father's house. You probably ain't paid a bill, and you probably still sucking on your mother's breast for milk at age 32. For those who do that, let me educate you. Let me school you, because I've been around the block a couple of times in life on how this works. When you are a grown man and you get paid to do something, it means you get critiqued in a way that you don't do it if you're an amateur, or if you are underaged, or if you are not an adult. So there's certain things that if you were a high school athlete and you've done something that's outside the pale, you might get commented on that, of course. But if if it's outside the realm of basketball, then you don't have to deal with that, because that's not what it's about. Same thing with the pros, same thing with college. But when it's on the field of play, or on the court in this case, a high schooler, you can't say he sucks, or you can't say that maybe he needs to tighten up. You really can't say that. You somewhat can, but you don't really say that with college. You most certainly can with G leaguers and pro players. Why? Because they are at the highest level of basketball that you could play. And when basically you have somebody in Bronny James who stole a spot, that is where the problem lies. So you all were getting all giddy. You all were getting happy. You all pulled down your pants, pulled out your joysticks, and you just beat it down like you were listening to Michael Jackson's Beat It. When in October, you saw history being made because your daddy made history with his son. Here is where you all need to get off of this train. It is this simple, this plain, and this cut and dried. LeBron, the father, has no room on the basketball court in this case. LeBron, the pro, does. And LeBron, the pro, if it wasn't Bronny James, would be going into the Lakers front office and demanding a trade for that gentleman now, or have him be cut. However, this is his son, and he can't ask that. I mean, he pulled strings in terms of actually getting him on the team in the first place and being drafted in the second round this past year. So I will bottom line this by a dummy who had the nerve to opine to me. Real quick words that he did, but I said, well, in seeing that incident, I said, well, LeBron's out of line. And Stephen A was fine, and he actually was respectful. And I can respect that, because why would you want to do a private conversation in public? And to that, I received from a pom-pom waving bronzexual the acronym STFU. Shut the up. And so I responded to him like I'm going to respond to you Gen Zers that are all about brawn, 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 brawn. Here's what you should do. Adhere to this advice after you sip on the Similac that you need to drink. Take a vial of crazy glue. Yeah, embrace it. Apply it onto your lips as if it is lipstick, lip gloss, or lip balm. And then don't wait any time. As soon as you apply it, Seal them pointless flaps of skin shut. Because that is the best use of a bronzesexual there is with this conversation or any when it comes to bronzesexuals and LeBron James. Shut up and let the grown men tell you how things should go down. Peace.
Yeah, that was a lot more Friday than I did Friday. A whole lot more. Good gracious. Well, after that, they won the game against the Knicks, won against the Celtics, and LeBron had decided to pull a groin injury.
Oh, I got this to say about LeBron. Look, son, when Jason Tatum blew by you, because we know that you're slow, when he blew by you and you did the flop, yeah, you may have been fouled, but it was basically a Jason Tatum elbow to your beard. Come on, son. You weren't fouled at all. And now you claim that you have a growing injury after that. Ow! You took in Boston.
Actually, it happened on that play that you just described where he got injured.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The
flopping did it. I love it. That's what makes it even better.
So he's going to be out for at least 1 to 2 weeks, and these are the games in that 2-week span. They got Brooklyn coming up, then Milwaukee, Denver, Phoenix, San Antonio, Denver again, Milwaukee again, Chicago, and then down in Orlando. Will the Lakers still be at number 2 when LeBron gets back? That is the question.
I hope not.
The time.
They don't deserve to be the number 2 seed.
All right. Now that Mr. Cole Johnson got his LeBron take in, commercial break. Then when we come back, I can get to what I'm really here for. Champs Week in the college ranks. Time to punch tickets. Who's going to the dance?
What he's really here for. Lord have
everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
In a world where chronicles of the past are brought to the streams, whether the content is relatable or completely beyond your realm of life, there is no shadow of a doubt that this show is absolutely full of shenanigans. Get ready for
D. Willie in the evening.
This Sunday at 10:05 p.m. Eastern.
Exclusively on Sertova Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome.
Shop hats and official sports gear at Liz. Liz is the leader and #1 destination for hats, gears, and everything that moves you, making it the perfect shop for fans to find official sports hats, merchandise, and gear. Represent your team, your town, and your style with a snapback adjustable fitted hat or beanie from thousands of college and pro teams. Browse the very latest sports jerseys and t-shirts from the best teams out there. Liz has officially licensed professional and college sport team apparel and hats featuring the hottest brands and trends. Shop online or visit one of the 100 stores across the country.
You might as well get your hats, get your gear, because guess what? We are about to have some madness go on here in the month of March. That's right, Liz. You can get free shipping on your orders over $24 with Lids 24. That is LIDS 24. Free shipping on your orders over $24 with Lids.com. Now, can you feel it Cole Johnson, can you feel it?
Ah, yes.
Can
See,
you
we
feel
are
it?
now in the part of mid-March, and normally this is when things get really hectic because in 6 days we will be having the selection as to who is going where in the men's and women's game. Man.
You feel the madness coming?
Selection Sunday is upon us.
Yeah.
And it means next Thursday starts the men's. Whew. Well, technically it's Tuesday, but still.
Today, but we are here. But before we must recap the final days of the men's game.
We have
And as you can see here, the final days of the men's games, Alabama got their revenge on Auburn. St. John's closed out the season on a high note. And Kentucky, they closed out the season on a high note to begin our recap.
Kentucky.
Alabama. They went to the jungle and they paid the Auburn Tigers back for what they did in Tuscaloosa. 93-91 with the win. Greg Nelson, 23 points, 8 for 15 from the field, 3 for 6 from three-point range with 8 rebounds. And Mark Shears, send favorite to be National Player of the Year, Janai Broome, and his final game in that arena with an L as he hit the game-winning floater at the buzzer
in overtime.
It was a hell of a game.
Seems like these two teams play up and down. I don't mean up and down in momentum. I mean, they just, it's like they, I won't say defense is optional, but they play as though it's wide open. The game in Tuscaloosa was that way, and the game in Auburn was that way. It's just wide open. So if that's the case, man, I hope if they do meet in the conference tournament, we get a similar game like this.
Same as biasness for me. Florida beat both of them.
Lord, why?
And both of them was in Alabama.
Lord, of course he has to brag about his Gators beating them both.
I know you ain't talking Mr. Houston, Tennessee.
What do you mean? Hold up.
Or should I say Houston, Texas, because you love the Longhorn, you love the Longhorns, and you love the Cougars.
Well, I can't help that Texas is my number one school, and I grew up in Houston. I can't help that.
I only picked for one team. And you talking about me?
You pick for one team, Mr. Central Florida.
When have you heard me talk about Central Florida on this show?
You know, I have a hard time wanting to root for if it's Central Florida or Florida. I'm like, come on, man.
You talking about bearing down the gridiron in college football? You ever heard? Yeah, I heard me say one thing about Central Florida when it comes to basketball.
Well, I know that, but still, you were conflicted with another school outside of the one that you root for. The alma mater, the would-be alma mater versus the school you rooted for all your life.
I attended UCL, so that's a special place.
That's what I'm saying. That's where the conflict is, and you have the nerve, the temerity, the unmitigated gall to call me out.
Oh, I can call you out because you openly do it for both teams. I only talk about UCL when it came to Florida. Outside of that, you didn't even hear me talk about UCL.
But you openly talked about it, so that's why I say that.
No, when I say openly talk about it, you don't care. You good job. Matter of fact, on the last time you was on the show, there you go, Houston. There you go. You gave him a hand call too. And you say, Texas, we need you to get it together. Yeah. Well, that's his team, so I can't say nothing. So
you're doggone right. And
so I can't be happy that my Gators beat both of them in Tuscaloosa and Auburn.
I'm not saying you can't be happy. I'm just funny. I'm finding joy and humor in your happiness.
Well, I ain't talking about Florida when they beat Ole Miss. They ain't make the show.
And having the number 1 seed and the number 3 seed in the SEC tournament.
We'll see. You know, some people in Gainesville don't want that 4th number 1 seed because that means that's the West Division, that's the West region. So they'd rather be a 2 seed.
That's all right. Take it, Houston. I'm sorry, we ain't talking about them.
There is a team in the red we are going to talk about. St. John's. They finished the season on the right note. 86-84 win at Marquette.
Here's my question.
I bet it's the same question that I asked.
Do you think they have a shot at the number 1 seed?
Oh, Houston, yeah.
No, not Houston. St. John's.
Oh, St. John's, yes. No, St. John's, no. They need help.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, I don't know if they can win the Big East tournament and actually be the number 1 seed.
No, they need help.
That's what I was thinking. Okay.
They need help. But they should be a 2 seed, in my opinion.
I think if they have a decent run in the Big East tournament, I think they will be a 2 seed.
The reason I say they should be a 2 is because only one team can win the Southeastern Conference.
Right.
So the other 3 or 4 got to lose somewhere in that tournament.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's a good job. RJ Lewis Jr., 28 points, 10 for 19 with 11 rebounds.
Man, what did Rick Pitino give these guys to play the way they've been playing this year? Because I did not see this from St. John's.
So,
man.
I said what I said about Rick Pitino. I'm not going to re-add it. You see what St. John's record is, 27-4 to close out the season. The number 6 team in the land. Well, they actually probably went up because the new rankings came out, which I didn't put on here. But if I have time, I might get to those. Kentucky, they went to Missouri and gave the Tigers their 10th L of the season.
Ooh,
as both teams finished 21-10.
Ooh, Kentucky needed that win bad. They needed that win bad.
22 points, 8 from 10 from the free throw line with 3 steals.
Good job. Good job on both ends of the floor. I think that's what Kentucky needs more of. I think they need to tighten up defensively if they're going to stand a chance to make a run, both in the Southeastern Conference tournament and in the upcoming NCAA tournament.
And then let's talk about some notable Bubba teams that need some help. Baylor, Arkansas, and North Carolina. Well, Baylor had an opportunity against Houston. Just came up short.
I'm sorry, Baylor.
AJ Cryer, he is y'all leader now. Because every time I turn around, he's the reason why y'all get out of these close behind games.
Well, all right. So you have Kelvin Sampson, who, and of course you know him. He coached Oklahoma for God knows how long, and now he's the coach of the Cougars. And he's the sort that he believes that you win with defense. So when he can get this effort from Cryer, it helps out a lot because it means he's having somebody on the offensive end contribute just enough to where the defense could stand up and shut you down the other end.
6 for 12 on the field, 6 for 9 from 3. So all his buckets were threes.
Yep.
And then he went 5 for 6 from the free throw line. That's all. He's 23 points. 3s and free throws.
Yeah.
Baylor, what was y'all doing?
Playing defense. Because I mean, to me, that's where
you say play defense. If the man went 6 from 9 from 3-point range, run him off the 3-point line.
I'm not talking about Baylor. I'm talking about Houston.
Now, what was Baylor doing?
Now Baylor. You see, when I was, I think I was 15, I was watching the Oilers and the Cowboys were horrible at the time. And we saw a defensive coordinator. I forgot the guy's name at the time. He was chewing every single Cowboy he saw out. And the color guy actually said about the guy, says, sorry, my man, you ain't got the horses. The Baylor Bears don't have the horses.
Well, that's a tough. I mean, it is Houston we're talking about here, so it's not like, but still, Baylor.
It's one of the 4 best teams it's one of 4 best teams in the nation.
But so, Baylor, you needed to win, and that's.
But you know what? I know close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, but they should applaud themselves. You have a preseason Final Four contender and a top 5 program come into your building, and you gave them a scare.
They are on the bubble, Coach Johnson.
That's what I'm saying. They gave Houston a scare.
No. You're not hearing me. Baylor is on the bubble.
I get that. With them being,
they don't have any room to be proud of losing by 4 to the 4th best team in the country.
I don't give a crap about them not having biting fingernails about being on the bubble. Be proud of the fact. Take this. Take this consolation L as proof that you can hang with the best of the best.
18-13 on the season. You talking about hang with the best of the best?
Yeah, Houston preseason Final Four contender. They are the number 3 ranked team in the country, and they came into your building. You actually had them down at the half. I mean, you can go into the Big Ten tournament, reel off a few victories.
Big 12.
Heck, if they can actually, I did say Big 12.
Big 10.
I'm sorry. No, okay. Well, I mean, they just go in the Big 12 tournament, reel off a few wins. You know what? You might see this team again in the national, in the conference championship game. You know, just look at KC. Just go there and just think, okay, we reel off a few victories there. We don't have to win the tournament. We don't have to cut down the nets. But if we actually have a decent showing against Houston again, we'll take another L. But we actually will be off the bubble and end the NCAA tournament.
He is gaslighting Baylor fans. He is gaslighting Baylor fans. Oh,
how am I gaslighting Baylor fans? How?
He's gaslighting Baylor fans. Okay. I see what he's doing.
Wait a minute. How in the world am I gaslighting Baylor fans? How?
Because you know damn well they ain't gonna make it to no Big 12 championship game. You must have forgot. We have done this show for quite a while, okay? You a gaslighting Baylor fans. Oh my gosh. I had to sit there and think, hold on, he's gaslighting this team.
How am I gaslighting them? I'm just giving Baylor fan hope.
You're gaslighting them. That's what you're doing.
You know, D-well, they're not gonna make it to the conference.
Now, a team that don't lead gaslighting, surprisingly, is the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Well, I mean, when you have John Calipari, I mean, you don't need gaslighting. He could do it all himself.
John Calipari is the only coach that I probably know as of right now that can win 19 games and almost be a goddamn lock for a tournament spot.
Well, yeah, I mean, because I think people get a thrill out of seeing him get bounced early in the tournament. But
and I have to, if I'll be honest, out of them 19 wins, about a good 6-7 of them is against ranked teams. Is the reason why Arkansas is going to get in the tournament.
Yeah. It depends on what they do in the conference tournament as to if they're going to be one of those one of those 11 seeds that needs to play an extra game against another 11 seed.
Oh, the first 4.
Yeah. I think that's where they are. In my opinion, I think that's where they are.
DJ Wagner from Arkansas, 24 points, 7 from 9 from the field, 3 for 4 from 3-point range, 7 for 7 from the free throw line with 5 assists.
Oh, sorry. You sound like Millie Mel right there.
Very, very, very efficient on all 3 levels.
And that's what they're going to need, except that defense has to step up a little bit, though. I mean, living by the name Razorbacks, that is razor thin close. Yeah, I mean, they have to step it up on the defensive end.
It is Arkansas.
I know they'll fly up the court. I know, but still, they can't allow opponents to score 92 points against them.
I don't know what to tell you. This is what John Calipari was dealt with when he went to Arkansas. He had to build a whole new team from scratch.
Well, he's the dummy that. I mean, he's the coach that went there. He dropped being in Kentucky and went to Arkansas. Figured, okay, Fayetteville, this is my next stop. I think I can build a championship contender out of you guys because I'm sick of coaching these one and done players and going in 1 or 2 rounds in the NCAA tournament. Oh Lord, I didn't mean to say that out loud. My bad.
Need it. And then we get to the rivalry that is college basketball. Tobacco the Road, Duke in Carolina.
Tar Heels. I'm sorry. I'm going to address it this way. This does not go to one Cool McCain because I know he's a Tar Heels fan. But to Tar Heels fans that I do know that are absolutely brain dead, eat these 2 L's that you took to Duke and go to the NIT tournament.
Here's my thing. You went down big early. You came back. Not only did you come back, you came back and you took the lead. So want to get your ass whooped again.
Because they're sorry this year.
You took 2 ass whoopers in one game. How is that even possible?
No, they took 2 butt whoopers to Duke in one game. That makes it even funnier.
In Chapel Hill, by the way.
Yeah, 2 butt whoopers to Duke in Chapel Hill in one game.
I didn't know that was possible.
Oh, it's possible.
Man, Duke jumped up to that early WG. I said, yep, Duke finna run away with it. Went ahead, went to work because surprisingly, your boy had to get ready for some other things. Messed around. Oh, shoot, North Carolina gonna came back. Oh, okay. North Carolina doing that thing. Oh, North Carolina. Oh, okay. And then final score. What the hell happened? What happened was North Carolina couldn't score the goddamn ball in the second half. He only scored 27 points in 20 minutes.
Well, this is why I say that North Carolina is again, like I said with Baylor, they don't have the horses. Same thing with North Carolina. They do not. This is rare to actually say it for a Tar Heels program. They don't have the horses.
And Cooper Fly, he wasn't the leading scorer, but 15 points, 6 and 15 from the field, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 blocks.
The most active of the Blue Devils.
When you ain't the leading scorer, but you do everything else, I don't care. You will get highlighted.
I'd rather that. I'd rather a person who wants to show out in many different realms, and instead of hey, I put up 50. Well, what else did you do in the game?
9, 6, and 4.
I'm circling the 4 in the 4 blocks. You want to know why they scored 27? You want to know why the Tar Heels scored 27 points in the second half? I smelled the Blue Devils play D on them hard. Pause.
That's why Cooper Fly's name is in the running with Janai Broome for Player of the Year. I still think it'll probably go to Janai Broome because you can't deny the year that Auburn has had with him.
They threw them D's on North Carolina. That's what they did.
And speaking of them D's, since the Duke Blue Devils went to Chapel Hill and got the dub, they win the ACC.
Regular season champions.
So they are the official 1 seed for the ACC tournament.
And they clinched it. Well, I know they always play North Carolina the last game of the season, regular season, but still.
They clinched it in Chapel Hill.
They clinched it in Chapel Hill, which I think that adds an extra layer to the celebration.
They clinched it
in Chapel Hill. Mm-hmm.
And then here's the rest of the bubble teams. This is what happened to these teams on the final weekend of the regular season. Baylor, we talked about it, took an L. The other last 4 byes, W's, Utah State, Arkansas, and Indiana.
But see, Baylor's still in the running. Come on, you green and gold. Cheer them on. They can make it to the tournament.
Oh, Lord. Last 4 in, San Diego State, Ohio State, Oklahoma, and Xavier. The only team to lose was Ohio State. Why did Ohio State lose? Because they played Indiana.
Oh, so they can't even whine about losing to Michigan? Oh, I'm so sorry.
The first 4 out, Boise State, North Carolina, Texas, and Colorado State. The only team to win in that spot was Colorado. Why? Texas. Because Utah State beat Boise State. We already talked about North Carolina, and Texas, they lost to the one team you're not supposed to lose to.
Texas, get ready for the NIT. Forget doing well in the SEC tournament. Just pack up and do the NIT tournament.
They lost to the one team that wasn't supposed to lose to, and that's the team that's next to them in the last four in Oklahoma. And that game was in Austin, by the way. I'm talking about how Duke should feel. How does Oklahoma feel?
Oh, Oklahoma feels great, as they should. They beat their number one rival in Austin. Oh, heck yeah!
And close out the season too.
And to close out the season, to close out regular season, that is how they. Yeah, I mean, I'd be celebrating too if I was a Sooner. Now, for you Longhorns, F the SEC tournament. Prepare for the NIT because you suck.
And joining us is my co-host from Monster Wrestling, which is about an hour away from now. Cool McCain.
Cool. What's up, man?
You just missed to talk about your Tar Heels taking that L to Duke by getting blown out twice in the getting blown out twice in one game, which I didn't think was possible.
Good. Let me carry on.
Did he just pull a Cole Johnson on North Carolina? Jeez. And then your next four out: Nebraska, Wake Forest, Cincinnati, and Dayton. Wake Forest and Dayton, they did their thing. Nebraska and Cincinnati did not do their thing. So we'll see what these teams do in conference tournament time, because that's all they got left.
At least 2 games in the tournament to have a chance.
I agree. Go.
And if they don't get it, they better off not getting in. Let me just say one thing here. I have to get this off my chest. They better off not getting in because you've had about 7 to 8 wins against teams. You have 1 win in quad 1. And you're not even losing to Duke like respectably. You're getting beat down. So whenever you play teams that are, in the tournament or close to making the tournament, it seems like you get smacked around. A lot of that, the blame is on one Hubert Davis. You should have put the lineup in that you have now much earlier in the season. Congratulations for finally figuring it out. But it would have been nice if you waited a couple more games so we would just be completely out of it. If they get in the tournament, they probably won't win a game. And I love Carolina, and I wish it was different, but the truth is the truth.
The bloom is off the rose for Hubert Davis already? Wow.
Bloom was off the rose for Hubert when we missed the tournament last time, in my opinion.
Wow.
Man, he still got a contract extension, by the way. So
he did because, that's what they do.
Speaking of which, here is the ACC tournament that will begin tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what they do.
You have North Carolina, the 5th seed. They'll get the winner of the first game tomorrow. Notre Dame versus Pitt, 2 p.m. on the ACC network. Then you have Virginia Tech and Cal at 4:30, and then Florida State and Syracuse at 7 p.m. The simple fact I just said Florida State and Syracuse in the first round of the ACC tournament. This doesn't sound right at all.
Well,
just doesn't sound. As you know, Duke's the 1 seed. The 2 seed is Louisville, who nobody had talked about all season. 3 seed is Clemson, and the 4 seed is Wake Forest of the 4 seed.
Talk about a team no one talked about, Clemson. The only time I heard them mention is when they beat Duke.
Yeah.
And when they smashed North Carolina, too. One of many teams that smashed North Carolina. But I will say this. North Carolina was smart to get into the 5th seed to put them in a position where Wake Forest would be their second round opponent if they can win their first game. So that way it's a little bit of a smoother path than having to play Duke or Clemson, which are teams that have already manhandled them multiple times.
That's a good point.
Among others that have been.
And Wake Forest is on a bubble line too. So them being a 4 seed and getting a double bye is pretty interesting for them.
It's all about the conference. They're better in the conference than the other teams.
Man, makes a good point.
So from the ACC to the Big 12. That gets started tomorrow as well. As Cincinnati and Oklahoma State would kick things off, followed by Colorado and TCU. Then Arizona State, Kansas State, and then UCF and Utah. Your top 4 season, the Big 12, obviously number 1 is the Houston Cougars. The Texas Tech Red Raiders number 2, the Arizona Wildcats 3, and the BYU Cougars at number 4.
I'm proud of Texas Tech eking out the 2 seed
Yeah,
over
I heard.
Arizona.
Yeah, we haven't heard Arizona being in the top 4 in a while, have we? So that's a little, you get some different teams in there.
They've
That's
been up
good.
and down.
Yeah.
Arizona has been very up and down. They ain't the only team because Kansas is in the 6th seed.
Yeah, I was about to clown Kansas because like the one team that you normally hear in one of the 4 seeds, they ain't. Where are you, Jayhawks? Rock chalk, you ain't rock chalk and Jackson this year.
It did too much rock chalking.
Hey, the crazy thing is they might have the crazy part is them being the 6th seed, they might actually have the easiest road because they get the winner of UCF and Utah. And then once they get done whooping down, they can whoop on Arizona again, like they've been doing. And they'll be in the semifinals.
Well, that's the thing. You trying to make sure you got the right path that's good for you if you ain't gonna be in the top. That's what you're supposed to do.
It's about matchups. It's like what they say in boxing, styles makes fights. So now you want to match up against the best teams that are suited for you to beat in this time of the year. So yeah, it's especially in conference tournament play.
So I can see Kansas making to the semifinals and meeting Texas Tech. I can actually see that happening.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Kansas didn't spend enough money this year. Them and UNC need to start calling each other and saying, hey, bro, what can we do? Get some money to these boys so we can get some better talent up in here because that's what everybody else doing.
Not spending enough money. Wow.
Let's go to the Big East. As the Big East, they get started Wednesday on March 12th. Butler, Providence kick things off.
Just skip that. It's St. John's tournament to lose.
UConn's in there. The bad champs. Creighton ain't no slouch.
Look, UConn was supposed to be one of the Final Four teams, and yes, shout out to you, Mr. Hurley, for being back-to-back national champs. This year just is not in the cards for you.
I don't know because they starting to catch fire at the right time, like they did the first time when they won the first time, getting wins over Creighton and Marquette.
Cole doesn't seem convinced.
I'm trying to remind Cole. This is exactly what happened in year 1 when they won it. Nobody talked about them, and they caught fire just at the end of the season, going into the Big East tournament, and they ran through that, and then all of a sudden, here they go, national champions.
Oh, so you think they're going to have double-digit victories from the tournament all the way to the national championship?
I ain't saying that. I'm just saying this is around the same time when they start catching fire out of nowhere.
Well, you said 2 years ago that's what they did. So if you're saying this is what they did 2 years ago, that means that's what you're predicting. That this year they're going to have double-digit victories in this tournament and in the regular tournament, and they'll cut down the nets.
I'm going to put it to like this. If they beat Creighton in the semifinals, they make it to the finals, everybody be worried, including Rick Pitino.
Oh, Lord.
Remember, that game is in Madison Square Garden.
Yes, I'm fully aware.
Everybody need Creighton to knock out UConn because I don't see Seton Hall or Villanova knocking them out, to be quite honest with you. If they get past Creighton, oh, hell. That's all I'm saying. Let's go to the Big Ten. Big Ten is interesting. Way much different from what the ladies had, which we'll recap. Michigan State the 1, Maryland the 2, Michigan the 3, and UCLA the 4.
I just get the feeling this is anybody's tournament. I just get that feeling.
I hate when you get that feeling because you usually turn out right. I need a all Michigan finals.
We don't need that.
I need all Michigan finals.
We don't need that.
You want to see Michigan State UCLA? No, I mean Michigan State Maryland. Yeah.
It sounds like Cole Johnson's on my side because they're just finna fight. Might as well make it the finals.
Oh man.
Make it mean something. But who else? Wisconsin? They too inconsistent.
They have the right temperament, but yeah, it's the up and down for me, and the defense sometimes leaving them for me. That makes me not want to say, yeah, I think they can take it.
So I don't even want to see Wisconsin. Illinois, they ain't the same as they were last year.
They've been up and down too this year. Yeah. Just when you think, okay, they can actually make it a run, then they take hardcore L's.
I mean, so Michigan State, Michigan finals. That's all I need.
All Michigan final? Oh, okay. All Michigan final in Indy.
The only other team will be Maryland.
Yeah.
But we know how Maryland is. If they get that one game where nothing's going down, that's it for them.
Mm-hmm.
They've been like that since the 90s.
Oh.
So
maybe somebody gonna come out of nowhere and just win. You know what I'm saying?
And the scary thing is, and the fact that he said the one game I'm looking at that might be go that way is the 8-9 matchup between Indiana and Oregon.
That's the one I was looking at too, sir.
So you both think that either one of those teams can knock out Michigan State?
The winner of that game?
If there was a team, if there was a dark horse, it'll be the winner of that game.
I agree.
If there's a dark horse.
You know, I don't agree with much. I agree.
Because we seen Wisconsin had Oregon down by 20-something points, and they came back and won in overtime. Indiana, all the things that are going on with Mike Wilson and all that stuff, and all of a sudden they caught fire at the end of the season. It's possible. That's all we're saying. And then we get to the Southeastern Conference, which has been the best conference in basketball, which is still crazy to say this year. But
yeah, that's not what you say about football with SEC, not basketball. But yeah,
because everybody else is sucking.
Unfortunately, the team that I want to do well, they need to simply lose their first game they play and just prepare for the NIT.
Oh well, I'm giving that an 85% chance of having because they're playing Vanderbilt.
All right, Commodores, beat them down. Beat them down, Commodores.
And this is a Longhorn fan saying that. I hope y'all know that. Right.
Beat them down, Commodores. Beat them down. Beat them down. You know how to do it. You've been beating ranked teams all year long. You could beat this this also ran. Beat them down.
Not the Commodores.
I mean that is their nickname.
The SEC gets started on Wednesday with South Carolina, Arkansas first, then the aforementioned Texas, Vanderbilt, followed by LSU, Mississippi State, Oklahoma, and Georgia.
I know it sounds funny, but I just can't stand the pain.
I'm leaving you tomorrow.
And then your top four is Auburn number 1, Florida number 2, Alabama number 3, and Tennessee number 4.
All right, Playmaker, how do you feel about Florida actually? I know you probably talked about this last week, or talked about it in your show later last week. How do you feel about Florida actually getting the number 2 seed in this tournament? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think they should have been lower?
They should have been a 1 seed.
Well, I mean, they got to take care of business. They didn't.
Yeah, you see that number 11 seed Georgia. That's what cost Florida the number 1 seed.
That's what I'm saying. They had to take care of business, and they lose to their biggest rival.
And I sat here and said that damn loss is gonna come back and bite Florida in the ass.
They lose to their biggest rival in Athens.
And the fact
Georgia is not that great of a team, and they still took an L in Athens.
And the fact that Auburn is only the number 1 seed just because I lost to Georgia.
Losses hurt.
So you want to know? Yeah, I'm still stinging from that loss from Athens.
I'm still stinging from multiple losses, sir.
Oh, Lord.
But we still get the double bye. We'll get the winner of Missouri, and whoever wins that first game between LSU and Mississippi State, it should be Missouri, but they seem to be up and down as well. So
Right.
who knows what Missouri team you're going to get
Right.
in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
And then if everything goes, that Alabama-Kentucky game could be an interesting one in the quarterfinals.
Yeah. Yeah, because Kentucky needs all the games they can get, I think.
And for Florida fans, we would love to see Kentucky again because that's the only team we owe right now.
You said, oh?
Yeah. We played them one time this year, and they got us. That was the first SEC game of the season. They won that one.
In Rupp or in Gainesville?
That was in Rupp.
Okay.
So yeah, if we can see Kentucky again, yeah, we want that ass whooping. Same thing can be said about Alabama. Alabama can feel the same way. They want to see Florida again because they don't like how they got beaten in Tuscaloosa in their own building.
Wow. So you have many of these teams wanting payback. Interesting.
So it's gonna be an interesting series going on. But tickets were punched on the men's side. They had 5 teams that punched their tickets. Listen, come once the Atlantic Sun. High Point University wins the Big South. Drake continues to dominate the Missouri Valley.
And we're not talking the rapper.
Southern Illinois University of Edwardsville won the Ohio Valley Conference. And then Peyton Manning's favorite word,
Omaha,
wins the Summit League.
I just want to shout out HPU for winning the South High Point University. Let's get it.
Oh, that's right. That's around your area. That's right.
Yes, sir. About 45, 55, depending on how you drive minutes away.
I keep forgetting High Point, North Carolina. Forget about that. Yeah.
So those are your 5 tickets have been punched. There are 26 more to be punched on the men's side for automatic bids to the NCAA tournament. Speaking of punching tickets, that's what the women have been doing since last week.
Yes, sir.
And that's what we're going to talk about when we come back.
Yeah. Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Into the Net FC. Kylian Mbappe just all of a sudden finally understood his role, and I think he finally understood that everything Kylian Mbappe has accomplished already, there is still a hell of a lot waiting for him in the future. Kylian Mbappe is only 24 years old. He has accomplished so much, and you know what? Kylian Mbappe has not even reached his prime. Finally seeing, the Marcus Rashford we have been hoping for such a long time, But, this game, after everything Manchester United has been, doing lately, this was actually the ultimate test, to see if Manchester United, honestly was all of a sudden for real. I explained this. The United States, maybe they have to suffer this loss as a lesson to learn to prepare for the future. Because 4 years from now, the World Cup is in not 1, not 2, but 3 countries. The United States of America, Canada, and Mexico. Into the Net FC is available on all streaming platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and YouTube.
Sports fans are gearing up, whether it be for the madness of March, whether it be for the Super Bowl, or even a little thing called WrestleMania. You can get all that at Fanatics, where they have a wide selection of gear from every league, including the NFL, the NBA,
the MLB, the NHL, the NCAA, and the WWE. So go on and show that pride, that passion, that dedication fan that you are by whipping your team, your league, all your favorite players. Fanatics, official license, everything.
Drew Willingham.
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson. Peyton was considered the winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald. With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text delete, 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 delete.
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels.
Welcome back to Showing the Lights Out here on this Monday, March 10th. And speaking of Total Football Talk, I do believe Cole Johnson and Drew Willingham need to be having a show sometime next week, huh?
Well, it won't be next week. It will be actually 2 weeks from today. And we will definitely do a recap on all things NFL free agency. And of course, we'll gear up for the new season of the UFL, which kicks off that weekend. But yes,
You better pay those quarterbacks right.
yeah. But yeah, we'll be talking about the NFL free agency, not next Monday, but the Monday after. Which will be the 24th of March.
Oh, you're just gonna wait till everything is dead. Okay.
Yeah. Because I do have a choice word or two to say about one Myles Garrett, but this isn't the platform to say.
Yes, sir. I got a few things to say about that son of a biscuit eater too.
This is not the
Oh
platform.
Lord. I just wanted to throw that out there, you know. Hey.
And he's earned them all, every word.
I'm just gonna say my Ramley talk on Thursday. Besides them winning free agency right now.
Well, congratulations on you on your team getting Devontae Adams. Maybe Aaron Rodgers is next.
Hell no, we still got Matthew Stafford. What you talking about?
He going to the I read that he's supposed to be going to what you call
What are
it.
you talking about? And we brought back Jimmy G too. So ain't no room for Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, it's nice you got porn star and Jimmy back.
All right, no football talk. Back to basketball because it's time for the ladies.
And he
Yes, the
said,
ladies are men
wearing
inventing
a Rams
show.
hat.
Hey man, it's some blind messages. All right.
Subliminal messages? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes. You ain't got to say it. You just look. And people should already know what it is. Cool, do it every time he do a show.
Well, of course, because he reps the Eagles all the time. I'm aware. Like he is now.
With the Eagles background.
And he should, because they're the reigning defending champs anyway. So,
And I got a fresh one for the next show.
And speaking of champ week in the ladies' ranks, we have some tickets punched in the ladies' ranks. The four major leagues have their tickets punched, as you can see right here: the ACC, SEC, Big Ten, and Big 12. Starting at ACC, the Duke Blue Devils.
Now, I did not see this coming.
76-62 win over NC State Wolfpack, claiming the ACC title for the first time in a dozen years. I didn't realize it.
Carol Lawson, wow.
Carol Lawson grabbing her first
Did not see this coming.
ACC title in her coaching career at Duke. I want to say this game turned when Asia James went down with that injury. I want to say that's when that game turned around. She did come back, but was not efficient whatsoever like she was before the injury. Duke turned up the defense. They was getting some turnovers. They was out and running, and they got it done.
Wow.
Anything on the Lady Blue that was catching the ACC title and punching their tickets to the NCAA tournament officially.
That's a big ups to them. You know, I hate when Duke has any success, but congratulations.
I mean, all I can say is I actually thought it would come down to actually NC State and Notre Dame, and well, neither one of them won. At least NC State got to the conference final.
Duke was like, "Nah, player, nah,
we ain't had that.
Yeah, we ain't doing that, player." That has some upsets. It makes it more fun if there's some upsets. If everything goes stop, it's not as exciting. So.
It does. I agree with that.
So
congratulations to the Blue Devils, the Lady Blue Devils.
Me and Coach Johnson, we have said this numerous of times, not only on the show but in the social media world. I'm pretty sure Cool McCain will agree with this when I say you do not get Don Staley twice in one season.
What? You lucky if you get it once.
Yeah, and Texas was looking to get them once, and I didn't think they would. And I am livid and upset that the Longhorns did not put up a better effort. This actually shows me that you may be one of the best teams in the game, but you're not Final Four worthy because you got to punch this team in the mouth to even have a chance of winning. And they didn't lay a glove on them. I mean, as you can see, Gamecocks took a hold of the game in the second quarter and didn't look back.
Like I said, you don't get Don Staley twice. I'm sorry, you do not get that woman twice.
So when you asked this question last month of if you feared South Carolina, you actually did. I'm like, no, they may not have the Asia Wilson or the Aaliyah Boston on the team that they can galvanize and say, oh yeah, that's an all world woman, and everyone can rally around her. You got a woman who has just claimed a national championship. She knows a thing or two about basketball. So that doesn't shock me. This doesn't shock me, but I'm still pissed at Texas for putting forth a putrid effort against them, though.
Chloe Kiss is starting to come into her own all of a sudden.
I mean, the thing is, different players, sometimes it just feels right at different times. And I believe that now it's feeling good for her. And that's what you want. That's all you need.
Yet again.
As I say, to the Davidic go the spoils. Congratulations, Lady Gamecocks. You earned it. You're the best team in the SEC. Straight up.
Just like in football, when the Texas Longhorns tried to claim throne as a newcomer, and the Bulldogs said, no. This still runs through Athens. Same thing with the Lady Gamecocks. They said, no. This conference still runs through Columbia.
Oh, it will, as long as Don Staley's there.
I'm about to say, they're the best team in the conference. Period. End of story on that one.
But I will say that it's nice for Texas and women's basketball and football to easily get to the conference championship game in year one.
Yeah. But they have a long way to go. Maybe not as long maybe not as long with football as with the ladies basketball team, but if they want to punch with the big girls of college basketball, this game shows they still have a long way to go to get there.
Then, speaking of revenge, that brings us to the Big Ten championship.
Well, it's about time UCLA beats them.
That second half for SC was
brutal.
That's one word. Yep, keep going.
Moribund.
Keep going.
The words of Tim Brandon was unkind.
Abysmal.
That's all right. My girl still be
they couldn't buy a basket in the second half.
Spit happens. You just have to swallow.
No truth was not told more than that statement there.
Even
and unfortunately, the Lady Trojans had to swallow that one in this game because that second half they
even-
just didn't have it. They didn't have
Even
it.
my favorite player, Juju, struggled. She still had 29 points, which is quite amazing.
But some 29s are better than others. This wasn't a good 29.
Right,
This was an okay 29.
Yeah.
This
There's 29 that really didn't help the team all that much. Yeah.
it was hard to watch.
And that is very difficult to hear you say those words, considering that you and I have said that Juju Watkins is the best, without question, college basketball player, not woman, college basketball player in the game today.
So I've said this on multiple occasions, and I will stand by it. I'll die on the mountain if I need to. Juju Watkins is the MJ of the WNBA. Wait till she get there. She coming.
Let me look and find that. No lie to be found.
But credit goes to Lord Betts, who finally showed up for this game.
Well, it's about time the Bruins actually win against the Trojans, though, man.
Because the two losses, Lord Betts did not have good showings against the Trojans. She came up big in the second half. So 17 points, 7 for 10 from the field, 5 rebounds, 4 steals, and 4 blocks. And that's coming from your center position, by the way, with the 4 steals and 4 blocks. One of them, which was on Juju, by the way.
Well,
so UCLA got it done when all the marbles was on the table on this one.
Congratulations, Lady Bruins.
Yeah.
You are the Big Ten Lady Champs.
What a win for them.
And I know that, and it's huge for them because I think they probably have locked down the number 1 seed now.
They locked down the number one seed. Now we don't know who will get the number 1 overall. Don State.
I would say Don State is probably going to lock down the overall number 1, in my opinion.
I think it's UCLA. You know why? They only lost 2 games. They only lost 2 games. They lost it to one team.
The thing is, but with Don Staley, you beat what was the number 1 ranked, or was the number 1 ranked team.
Oh, and by the way, they
twice.
actually are, and they actually the other team that actually got Don Staley too. So,
but with Don Staley, you beat the team that was ranked number 1 coming into this week twice.
I love Don Staley, but I see the UCLA Bruins being the overall number 1 seed.
Well, we'll know,
rightfully so.
We'll know in 6 days, but yeah.
Their resume doesn't compare to anybody else.
Well, I'm sorry. The 2 L's they took to USC, I think, hurts them a bit.
Yeah, the quality of your L's do matter too. You can say one team, but you let a team that's not technically.
So if you're gonna say that, you're gonna forget the blowout that took place in Columbia.
Oh, you talking about UConn? Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, that does weigh, but again, I will say it again.
So be saying UCLA, Texas, UConn.
But I will say it again.
That's 3 losses.
But I'll say it again.
UCLA only has 2.
Don Staley's USC. How funny I'm saying that. The Lady Gamecocks, they beat the number 1 ranked team twice. Can anybody say that?
That has to matter too, sir.
Right.
No, they beat the number 1 ranked team once.
No. But they beat the team that was ranked number 1 recently.
No,
when they were ranked number 1,
you doing
and then they beat them earlier in the year. So they beat the number 1 ranked team twice.
They beat the number 1 ranked team once.
Well, they beat Texas twice.
They beat Texas twice. They only beat them when they were number 1 once. That don't work. I know what you were saying, but that don't work. Not in this one.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
I'm telling you, UCLA is going to be the overall number 1 seed.
And plus, you said that they were the cream of the crop in terms of the in terms of college basketball, because the SEC was the toughest conference, at least top heavy, in the ladies game.
When you look at UCLA's resume, I can't.
I'm not saying UCLA's resume sucks. It's great, but I'm sorry, them 2 L's they took to USC, that has to matter.
It does matter, but the fact that you lost to 3 different teams and one was a blowout in your own building has to matter too. You can't have it both ways.
I agree. I just see.
So UCLA lost to 1 team twice.
I just see
South Carolina lost to 3 teams. one of which blew the doors off them in their own building.
I just see that South Carolina beat the number 1 seed ranked team.
And matter of fact, when
by
UCLA,
19 points.
And matter of fact, when UCLA beat South Carolina, guess who was the number 1 team in the country? South Carolina.
Recency bias. SC lost in the conference tournament.
And remember, that was a 15-point beatdown.
Gamecocks won theirs. There's recency bias plays a part too.
Yeah. And that's the way I'm looking at it. Thank you, Cole. That's the way I'm looking at it. Recency
I ain't
bias.
looking at recency. I'm looking at the entire.
Well, if you're not looking at recency bias, you're not looking at things like the committee looks at. You have to look at things the committee's way.
No, the committee looks at everything.
Right, but recency bias plays a part when they feel like teams.
Recency bias plays a part, but when you look at everything, UCLA is deserving of the number 1 seed.
Not saying that they're not
I think
deserving.
they'll be more deserving. They lost in their conference tournament.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they aren't deserving.
I mean, I'm not saying that they couldn't get it, but I'm saying I would roll with Cole on this one.
Yeah.
Over UCLA?
Yeah.
Who was the Big Ten champion?
I'm rolling over UCLA. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
No, that's that. And
I'm not saying
you're talking to an SEC guy, and I'm telling you how they finna look at this.
What does being an ACC guy have anything to do with a different conference?
I'm telling you what's going to happen.
SEC has nothing to do with ACC.
All right, so
when the committee looks at everything, they're going to say UCLA has the better resume. They the number 1 overall seed.
Okay. Pharaoh, me, and Cole think differently.
Okay. All right.
I know Pharaoh, Pharaoh forever disagreeing with me.
Sorry.
And has been wrong for damn near every last one of them.
Not all of them. Even a broke clock is right twice a day.
Oh man. Cool is firing off on all cylinders today. I love this.
And matter of fact, when we don't we know when we had this conversation, I always end up right. When I be telling y'all this when it comes to the committee. Even in football.
You got one right in football, and that was wrong. Many people agree that one was wrong, but that's how the committee went. You got that one. Don't try to turn it.
I got it multiple times, to be honest.
I do that, sir.
See, I be paying.
You haven't gotten to them. I'm not gonna say you ain't got none, but
I be paying attention to what the committee does.
I do too.
If they go South Carolina, I need to know the reason for it because I might know the reason why they.
South Carolina beat the number 1 ranked team by 19 points in the SEC championship game.
It won't be that. It'll be just the 3 letters by itself.
Well, I'm giving you one of the 2 reasons.
No, the one reason would be the 3 letters. That's it.
Well, another reason would be
defending national champion. I mean, come on.
But if they do what they're supposed to do, like they've been doing, UCLA will get the number 1 overall seed.
I hear you.
Okay.
There's this. And then the Big 12 championship. The one team that's not being talked about that's in the top 10.
Yo, I watched this entire game, yo.
All right. What's up?
And I want to tell you, Baylor fought hard, but they just, you know how they talk about you expend too much energy coming back and then you don't have it at that very end?
Yeah.
That's what TCU did to them. And I want to say Haley Van Lith, every time a team be winning, Haley Van Lith be there. I'm not saying that as not saying that as shade. I'm saying that
Haley Van Lith had went back to the Louisville Haley Van Lith.
You actually, I've heard you say that often, Playmaker. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If this Haley Van Lith could have shown up at LSU, which was actually hard.
LSU would have won the national championship probably.
They would have, but that was hard for her to show up like that because you had
Angel Reese too. Yeah.
You had Fly J. Johnson. You had Michaela. You had Michaela Williams. You had Arisa Morrow. You had too many.
The team was loaded. The team was loaded. It was unfortunate for her.
It was one of those situations where once you got that chance to kind of be that chick again, you could be that chick again.
Mm-hmm.
And she's that chick for TCU.
Yeah, she is.
By the way, who has made history in basketball. And when I say basketball, I'm saying men and women. They are the first team in basketball at TCU to bring home a regular season title. And they're the first team in TCU history to bring home a tournament title.
That's so right. Where they gonna be at, Playmaker? What line?
2 seed.
That's what they weren't. That's what they went crap in the Big 12 nor the earlier in the Southwest Conference. That makes sense. Okay.
There'll be a 2 seed because you're talking UCLA, South Carolina, UConn, who most likely are going to finish the deal tonight when they play Creighton.
Yeah, I see TCU being the 2. Yeah.
And then the 4 seed probably be SC, maybe Notre Dame, most likely SC.
Here's the
Could
question
be
I got.
Texas.
Here's the question I got. Sometimes the tournament committee does this too. Like if a team like the Lady Trojans, they take an L, and it's not a big time L. I mean, they lost by 5, and they were ranked number 2. Do you see them dropping to the number 2 seed line, or do you see them still holding on to a number 1 seed?
Would that be Notre Dame? I can see Notre Dame dropping to the 2 line because they have lost 3 of the last 5 games.
So that means you could see USC
They
holding on to
faltering.
number 1
Notre
seed.
Dame is faltering at the very wrong time.
So that means you can see the Lady Trojans holding on to a number 1 seed.
I can see the Trojans holding on to a number 1 seed.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking the same thing.
The Fighting Irish, they faltering at the very wrong time. This is not the time to be dropping games.
If USC holds on to a number 1 seed, that could help UCLA.
That would help UCLA.
Because then you can make the argument we beat, another team on the top line, and we got one less loss. So that could help them if they keep a number 1.
Yeah, true.
So I'm not saying it go either way. I just think SC's going to edge them out. But
it's going to be interesting between Texas and SC who gets that 4th number 1.
Oh, SC's going to get that. I don't. Come on, man. Look, and I'm saying this as a Texas fan. You can't in the conference championship game lay that big of an egg. I know it's against the Lady Gamecocks, but you cannot lay that big of an egg in the conference championship tournament game. You can't do that. You can't lay that big of an egg. And you claim to be one of the 4 best teams in college basketball. No, you can't lay that big of an egg. No. I would say USC over the Lady Longhorns for the number 1 seed.
So those are your big 4 champions. And then we have 5 more teams punch their tickets to the madness. George Mason in the Atlantic 10. Yet again. High Point winning the Big South on the lady side. Tennessee Tech taking home the Ohio Valley. UNC Greensboro winning the Southern Conference. And then
UNCG.
South Dakota State Jackrabbits is back in it, winning the Summit.
I just want to say, anytime the Jackrabbits can be in the tournament in anything, that's a win for us all.
Anytime the Lady Jackrabbits are in the NCAA tournament, whoever y'all get first, it better be on their P's and Q's when it comes to South Dakota State. That's all I'm saying. Farrell, how you gonna give South Carolina, UCLA, USC, and Texas all the 1 seed and just forget about UConn?
Yeah, because I'm thinking I think they're gonna get the number 1 seed.
The only way UConn don't get a number 1 seed if Creighton beat them tonight, and I don't even see that happening. So either USC or Texas getting the 2 spot. UConn is getting the 3rd.
I say Texas getting the 2 spot. I say Texas getting 2 spot because
that man just left out UConn. The disrespect is real.
Yeah, I say Texas getting 2 spot because you have UCLA, who they won the Big 10 tournament, but USC beat them twice. So in my opinion, I think USC is going to get it over Texas to get the last number 1 seed.
Farrell said UConn's going to be a 2 seed. The committee is not going to put UConn a 2 seed with what they've been doing. UConn has already been in a easy conference, and they've never stopped them from being the overall 1 seed.
Big East always been soft, but that never held UConn down, though.
When it was in the American, it didn't change.
True.
UConn's being the 1 seed unless they lose tonight. Before I get to that, here's are the bubble teams according to Charlie Crane of ESPN. So Georgia Tech, Indiana, Nebraska, and Oregon sitting pretty good to make the tournament.
Man, ain't a team I can root against.
Iowa State, Washington, Princeton, and 2 Ivy League teams sitting in the last 4 in, and they ain't even get to their championship game yet. That could change things. First four out: Virginia Tech, St. Joseph, Minnesota, Arizona. So Virginia Tech, Minnesota, and Arizona, they're pretty much out at this point in time. St. Joseph, if they can go on a run in their conference championship, they could make some things interesting. The next four out: Murray State, Middle Tennessee, Stanford, and Seton Hall.
Two Tennessee programs. Well, Murray State's in Kentucky, but it's near Nashville. Two Nashville schools that are praying, but they ain't gonna get in. Praying to get in. Wow.
Stanford and Seton Hall, y'all done.
Tell them how you feel, Playmaker. Tell them how you feel.
What you mean?
Look,
the ACC championship has been already determined. The Big Ten championship has already been determined. The Big 12 has been done. The SEC is done, and the Big East ends tonight. So pretty much the teams that's in those conferences don't have a chance.
But I'm saying, like, so I would say this, though. All the teams that won, you agree, we're going to make the tournament anyway.
If you win the last four buys and the last four in,
I'm pretty much all the teams that you felt like were going to win, at least make the round of 60. What is it, 8 now? The field of 68 won, right? Mm-hmm. So with that being said, that does give a couple of more spots that maybe some other teams can get, right?
No, I'm talking about Stanford and the Seton Halls.
I know what you're talking about. I'm just
They're
saying.
done.
I'm just saying, anything's possible.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible. The Princetons, the Harvards, the St. Joe's, the Murray States, and the Tennessees, because they conference tournament is still going.
Right, but if they lose early in those tournaments or don't win some of them, that could move things around. Just saying.
Not for the power teams or the major teams. I'll say that the major teams are pretty much done. Okay. The mid majors, they have a chance. The major teams, y'all pretty much done. Because y'all have nothing, y'all have no more games to play to get in.
But they have nothing to play themselves out either. I'm just saying.
No, they can't play themselves out, but the teams that are in
they can't play themselves in either, though. Yeah. They in limbo.
Yeah, they pretty much are done. Because the teams that's mid majors that still have conference championships going on, they can make things interesting.
I'm saying sometimes you have a year where some fluky things happen and a couple of extra spots open up. Just saying.
Wow. So, Seton Hall, they needed to beat Creighton, which they didn't. So they lost to Creighton. They have nothing else there's nothing for them to do now. They have to
prepare for the women's NIT.
Pretty much.
They could do like Carolina, just be like, we ain't going to NIT.
Yeah, and just bow out, period.
Piss off your NIT.
And we're going to run it back. UConn and Creighton tonight, less than an hour away on Fox or FS1.
Who's going to win?
UConn. Man, I don't see.
Yeah.
Creighton, can y'all put up a bigger fight that y'all did at home? Because y'all didn't put up a fight at home on senior night against UConn. Yeah, they walked in there and whooped y'all ass.
Well, we ain't gonna talk about not putting up a fight on senior nights, okay? I'm not partaking in that conversation.
I'm just keeping it real.
I know you are, and I am too.
Just saying. Can y'all put up a bigger fight, or is UConn that is still that juggernaut, whatever conference they go to?
Well, the second part is actually we know that to be true.
So if y'all want UConn to be a 2 seed, Creighton wins. If UConn wins, trust me, it'll be a 1 seed. Because they have the biggest win out of everybody on their resume.
Oh, the 29-point road victory in Columbia.
Yes, they had the biggest win out of everybody. To do that on the road to the defending champs. And by the way, guess who's the favorite to actually win the national championship?
Pray tell, who would that be?
UConn.
The UConn Huskies.
What a shocker.
Mm-hmm.
And Farrell, you telling me they're going to be a 2 seed?
Yes, he is, sir. That's what he told you.
And you said look at ESPN. Well, ESPN also said they are the favorites to win it. So why would they be a 2 seed if they're the favorites to win it?
Man, you ESPN, bro. If you're using ESPN for your arguments, bro, I don't even care if they match you, bro. I quit using ESPN. I just quit on them. They just be on that, just throwing stuff at the wall to see if it stick.
See, Farrell didn't know he opened this up for it when he said that, because I know I've been checking ESPN. ESPN got UConn the favorites to win the championship.
Man, ESPN will have you the favorite and then have you a 3 seed in projections because that's how they do. You can't trust what ESPN say.
So trust me, UConn do what they need to do tonight. They'll be
trust me.
I'll put it like this: when ESPN, when the analysts and stuff are talking and they're making predictions and they're saying stuff, right? Mm-hmm. That's the same thing as Plaxico Bears with a gun in his pocket.
Oh. Why you have to reference a guy who had to wave goodbye to his unit? Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
Because they're gonna shoot themselves.
That's cool game for you.
In the penis? Oh wow.
Well, the groin area.
That's what I thought. It was the groin area, not the actual part.
Well,
I don't know if it was the actual joint, but even if you shoot yourself in the groin, you have to think about little anatomy. If the swing is the wrong way, you still can get it.
Oh my gosh.
Which is unfortunate.
Don't mean a thing if it's got the wrong swing.
Well, yeah, I was in the military one time when one guy actually shot another and did pick off one of his scrotum.
Ooh. I would have had to kill that dude.
Yeah, dude was called hung up ever since.
What is too many losses? Because they got the same amount of losses as South Carolina. Like Farrell, really, like they got the same amount of losses as South Carolina 3. They got less losses than USC.
This is interesting.
I don't know why Farrell's trying me right now.
I'm loving this.
Come on now. And not to mention, since you want to speak of upsets, who upset at SC? On Caitlin Clark night, by the way. You ever heard anything from Iowa since that game?
When Caitlin Clark was gone, Iowa was a done deal. Her and Kate Martin left.
But the one game they win was against SC on her night. That's why USC has 4 losses, because they took one unsuspectedly to Iowa. So whatever argument Farrell throws at me, I can throw back at him. If you don't like UConn, let's say you don't like UConn. But trust me, UConn's resume stacks up to just about everybody's resume. Come on, this is the University of Connecticut Huskies we're talking about here. That name rings bells in a game of basketball. So, with that being said, we got to get up out of here because 2 of us have another show to do while the third person would be in the comments acting a fool.
A fool? Moi? Never.
Blasphemy, Mr. Johnson? Is he spouting blasphemy over there on you, sir?
That's right. He is being blasphemous.
Especially after what took place last week. I know it was coming from Cole Johnson in that chat. Damien had his moment last week. This week gonna be Cole Johnson's week.
Yo, Damien was on one last week.
Damien was cooking
he was
last
official
week.
with it too. He was official like a whistle.
Oh my, he was cooking last week.
Yeah.
He was cooking last week and your sister was cooking the week before. I'm like, oh man.
Good, crazy. Speaking especially what happened last week, man. Y'all jump over to the World Play the Sports Cup. Well, actually, no, I might put this on. No, I'm gonna put this on the Playmakers Bot channel too, because this what happened last week? I don't know.
And if you want to go somewhere else just because you want to support other channels, You can go there, Real Play
Please
Callers
do so.
on YouTube. And
Yes.
So that's Kuma Kane down at the bottom. That is Cole Johnson at the top left. I am the playmaker signing off. And it's chance week. More tickets to be punched. More automatic qualifiers. And then we'll see who will get in on Selection Sunday.
holla, 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 holla. Holla, 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 holla.
You've done good. You've done great. But you can't stop here. You can't stop now. You gotta keep going. Through all your trials and your tribulations, you gotta keep pushing. Now, finish your canvas.
Yeah, gotta get it out the mud, that's the only way to win. Who am I to point the finger like I never ever seen? Been through the ups and downs like the letter N. They don't let you through the door, better kick that again. Cause that's the only way to win. That's the only way to go. Gotta get it out the mud. Gotta get it out the floor. Cause that's the only way to go. Let's go.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If you want to follow the podcast, you can follow it on all streaming platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and a whole lot more. This has been Shooting the Lights Out.
Masterpiece.